So I feel like I am two souls trapped in one human, where one part of me wants to live life fully, be in the moment, create those memories, enjoy as much as I can the present. And the second part of me wants to do everything possible to build wealth for the future. So I'm always stuck with the confusion where I always think whether I should travel to Europe every year and check off my bucket list items, or should I just sacrifice all those moments and double down on investing for the future. And with so much uncertainty right now, job market, AI, everything seems to be changing, and this confusion seems to be getting worse. And the moment I start living freely and spending on those experiences, it starts to feel like that I'm taking away from the future that I'm trying to build. So, where is that balance? What is that calibration point between living now and saving for future? And if you're like me, you've probably wondered this or asked yourself this question at least 100 times. And over the time, I've realized that this is not a financial problem, it's a behavioral one that requires a mindset shift. So, the biggest source of confusion for me was lack of clarity. And one question that I never asked myself was that what do I actually want to do with my life? And it took me so long to even begin answering that question. It took me so long to even figure that out. Almost my late 20s and early 30s. And until then, I was just living my life day by day, working my 9 to 5, enjoying the money that I make, travel wherever I can, buy whatever I can. There was no direction, there was no awareness. But when I look back, I can't help but feel that sense of regret. Not because I was careless, but because I was unaware. And as a result, it never occurred to me that I need to think about the direction or I need to align my actions with the future version of myself that I was trying to become. You don't feel the cost in the very moment, you only feel it years later. And after working towards trying to get some clarity, I guess one thing is really clear that we only have one life. And for me, I personally want to build something substantial for the future. That's just a non negotiable. And I'm okay compromising on few things to make that happen. But I'm not okay with compromising on the experiences that have a deep meaning for me. And that's the level of clarity that I've accomplished. So now I do similar things, but I have tool that helps me and gives me the direction, and that tool is my investment goal. So as long as I'm meeting my investment goal, I am okay and I can enjoy the rest of my money without any guilt. But clarity alone isn't enough. It needs to be combined with something that is equally important, which is time. So currently, I am doing all these things. I have my 9 to 5 job. I'm doing this YouTube. I have to work out, sleep, cook, clean, self care. I have to do all these things. And doing all this, I get a reminder every day that my time is the most valuable commodity that I have. Every second spent is gone. It's never going to come back. So how does valuing time is going to help balance the present and the future? Let me explain. There was a time when, or a period of my life when I was spending time and my money on the people and the situations that really didn't matter to me as much, or they were not adding so much value to my life. But I still continued to be in those situations. So now the problem is that the money that I was spent during that time is okay. I can always recover that money. I can always earn that money back. But the time that was spent during those situations, during that time period, is something I can never get back. So a better approach would have been to be more intentional, which is spend time with the people that actually mattered to me, or do things that brought me real happiness, or cut down on anything that wasn't adding much value to my life. And when I actually started to practice that, something crazy started to happen. It created those small pockets of time, money, and energy that started compounding over time. And then I could reallocate them towards things that would help me build my future, such as doing things such as learning, building new skills, thinking long term. So, I truly believe now that before we even actually start talking about living in the moment, we really need to define what does the moment mean to us. So if you're defining the present here, we also need to define for the future. And future comes from long-term thinking. And thinking about just 1 year ahead isn't enough, isn't really defining the future. I truly believe that when we are deciding about the present and the future, we need to at least think about the next 5 or 10 years ahead of time. Because when I was 25, I didn't think about any of that. And when I turned 30, I basically had nothing. I was barely able to get some money for the down payment of my condo, and I was able to buy it. But that was pretty much it. And this isn't just about the money, it is also about the growth and the skills that we want to learn for the future. So when we position ourselves for the future, everything starts compounding over time. And that is the reason why whenever I'm making a big decision of my life, I always ask myself a very important question, which is how will this play out in the next 5 years or 10 years from now? And I have seen firsthand what happens when you don't think like that. Believe me, I have learned it the hard way because there was a time when I invested $6,000 in stocks without even thinking long term. There was no strategy, there was no clarity. And after some time, I lost all that money. It wasn't that the market failed me. It was because I didn't think beyond that moment. So if you have felt some similar emotions or if you have gone through some similar confusion, then do let me know in the comment section. I would really like to know that. And if there's any general feedback, then that is appreciated too. And if you can do me a favor, hit the subscribe button because it is free to you, but it is going to help me tremendously building this learning community, building this channel that now you're also even part of.